of a team that lets a 3-goal lead slip against Wimbledon, then beats Liverpool, and then goes and loses a cup tie at Northampton, all in the space of a week. That is West Ham at the moment. Or at least it is the West Ham team that Harry Redknapp would have liked to have fielded, but with so many out, there's a new shape and a new look today. And this is Ferdinand, shepherding the ball out of play for a goal kick. Rio Ferdinand, whose job will be to look after Jean-Claude Darcheville. We get a first detailed view of him today, really, on Match of the Day. Tragically, he lost his wife and 2 children in a car crash in France last year, but he's come to England looking for a new start. Ian Wright. Keller is free on this near side, and so is Berkovic. Too much space left, really, by Forest. Keller. And Ian Wright. And Wright a second time! Well, the threat emanated from the amount of space that Forest afforded West Ham. Dangerous chap to give space and time to, Ian Wright. Louis Jean, Impey, Keller, Johnson, and Darcheville's ahead of him. This is Jean-Claude Darcheville who goes down, and the referee says corner. And Ian Pearce is leading the protest that Darcheville tumbled over rather too eagerly. Well, Impey was the player who made the challenge. It was an attempt to get the ball. Stone's kick, Chettle, and now Quasi. 5 minutes to half-time. Ferdinand stretch. And Stone has emerged with the ball. Ferdinand. Doesn't look a happy customer, Rio Ferdinand. Johnson. And he's gone down. He too looked at the referee, and the referee again said no. The way Andy Johnson sprang up seemed to indicate that he felt he had a case, but it's not really supported by that evidence. 2 penalty appeals in less than a minute for Mike Reid to deal with, and he said no to both. And Wright has escaped this time. Armstrong couldn't deal with it! Oh, it's off the bar! And Abu missed the sitter on the follow-up. I have a feeling that Besson might even have got a touch to it. He did. It was a fine save. Backpedaling, and he used all of his 6'4" frame. Outstanding stop. West Ham haven't lost here in the league for 12 and a half years. They're now playing from left to right. And despite the array of attacking players that they have, and 1 or 2 that Forest boast, goal-scoring chances have been few and far between. But with limited resources, Harry Redknapp is just doing his best, really. He's struggled to find 11 players to start the game, let alone 5 substitutes. Stone. And for Darcheville. Ferdinand is the West Ham defender immediately in front of him. Still Darcheville. Well, it was an angle from which he was always unlikely to beat Shaka Hislop. But it was struck with some power. Dave Bassett, promoted 7 times in his career as a manager, but ironically he's better known for just keeping sides up. Berkovic. Lampard. Ferdinand. Sinclair. Wright. This is better, this is Abu. Berkovic is inside the penalty area. So's Ian Wright with a chance! Well, he'd happily chopped Dave Bessett's legs off, I think. Because if he was a foot shorter, Wright would have scored twice by now. Johnson's made a run across the line of defenders and he's got there as well. Bonalaire. Harewood and Darshfield waiting. Now it's Johnson again. Well, he's drawn the foul from Ian Pearce. Ian Pearce is giving Johnson an earful. And Pearce is cautioned. Well, there was maybe a little tug. Stone. Oh, he went for it direct! No question that he tried to curl it in. Didn't want the help of his friends. Wrapped the instep around it, and Hislop was caught out by that. Everyone was expecting the cross. Harry Redknapp, who's to see some football in Italy tomorrow, which will be rather different in style to this. Pearce. Quasi. Rogers came off the knee of Sinclair. This is Darshfield. That was a tackle from behind by Ferdinand. And the referee is reaching, unsurprisingly, for a card. Clear cut. Just the sort of challenge that FIFA were keen that referees should outlaw. Rio Ferdinand marks his 50th Premiership start with the 5th caution of the afternoon. It's Chettle who'll strike it! Hislop spilt it and then made a brave plunge at the feet of Harewood, and Ian Pearce has expressed his displeasure. Arms were raised by Impey and Darshfield, and referee Mike Reid has some sorting out to do. Ian Wright is also to the fore, but that's no great surprise. It's a yellow card for Harewood for the initial challenge. He was the one that followed up after Hislop had spilt the free kick from Chettle, which was very well struck. Yes, the ball was safely in the keeper's arms before the arrival of Harewood, hence the booking for him. Sinclair's flick came off Rogers onto the head of Omoyinmi, and this is Sinclair again. And he's escaped, and this is Berkovic, and here's Ian Wright! Well, when someone of his calibre misses a chance like that, you get the feeling it's going to be one of those goalless days. And it's 3 against 2 for Forest if they play this correctly. Friedman's through the middle, keeper's off his line, he's chipped in! That would have been the ultimate breakaway goal. And Dougie Friedman, who has yet to score in the Premiership, either with Crystal Palace or with Nottingham Forest, will feel that after the build-up he should have curled that inside the post. As good a chance as either side has carved out all afternoon. In the circumstances, given the paucity of resources with all the injuries, 0-0 wouldn't be too bad a result for Harry Redknapp and West Ham. The referee is poised to blow his whistle. It's Sinclair who's going to throw to Omoyinmi. Back with Sinclair. Bonalaire got a foot to it. Sinclair has escaped. Wright is pulling away. Rogers made the tackle, and West Ham have a final corner. Now, if the referee is like Clive Thomas, he'll blow his whistle now while the ball's in flight. He has done, and that's it. And it ends goalless between Nottingham Forest and West Ham. The best West Ham chances fell to their captain, Ian Wright. A notable miss in the second half by his own very high standards. And he was also denied in the first period by the man with whom he is now shaking hands, the veteran Dave Besant, whose save arching backwards to tip the ball, lobbed by Wright onto the bar, was the highlight of a game that never rose to any great heights. Plenty of honest endeavour, but not a day to be a striker. At the City Ground, it's